Today on Nerd and Normal, everything is getting more expensive. Your computer and phone can actually help you make things cheaper.
Welcome to Nerd and Normal with Matthew and Gareth, opening your mind to the world of technology. So let's get started.
G'day, Matthew.
G'day, Gareth. How are you on this glorious day?
Well, just having paid my telephone bill, not a happy chappy, but that's something we should talk about. You know, handling bills of any size or for whatever, be it electricity, gas, or just rent, it can be overwhelming. But there is a way to solve that problem and make everything predictable and easy, but the money still disappears. So how's your telephone bill going, Matthew?
Mine's actually organised. Every year, without fail, I always check to see what I can do to save money with my telephone bill, whether it's the NBN one at home or the mobile phone services that I have. I don't want to pay too much money, so I spend time every year researching, and that's getting quicker and easier each time.
And has the NBN helped?
It has dramatically. Using my phone and the computer, I can research things in an instant. There's no having to go hunting and make phone calls trying to get a hold of different providers. I can just go on my computer and search for things, whether it's companies that I know of or go hunting through other websites to find companies I've never heard of before, and they can provide the same service for less money.
Well, I've got my telephone bill that I just paid, $214 it cost me. I'll be upfront and honest, and I know you're going to put up a dummy computer screen copy of my bill, but just an ordinary bill. But let's just go through page one, if you could maybe elaborate on each of the topics. Now, firstly, there's my bill summary. Then there's the details of the bill. But once upon a time, I used to be able to see all the mobile calls I made and all the hardline calls I made. The new bill doesn't seem to have that. What's happened?
So places like Telstra and Optus, they want to try and reduce their fees and prices they're paying for things. So they've worked out it's pretty cheaper for them to just give you a basic overview of what's in your bill rather than showing you everything there broken down. You can still get that information if you go onto their website, but it's not given to you basically in plain terms through your bill, which makes sense to give it to you then. They'd rather you go hunting for it, and that way it saves them money paying for ink, paying for paper, and especially these days, paying for those stamps to try and get the stuff off to you.
Yes, but don't they solve that problem by only emailing the bill to you?
In theory, but Telstra's the worst example I have of this. They decided a while ago to change the way the bills looked. They used to have everything, like you said, all spelled out. Every single phone call was included on there. And every time you use data on your phone, that was also included on the bill. These days, you get the basic overview on the bill, and then you've got to go hunting for the rest of it. And the worst bit about it with this new change to the bill is also trying to find your account numbers so you can question them for things. They make it so hard now to find anything that could be useful for you to either change providers or know what your use actually is without going hunting through their website.
Okay, well, just again, looking at this, so as he stares down at a piece of paper, there is no account number on my bill.
No, but the previous ones did. I'll quickly show up here what Telstra bills used to look like, and they did actually have, in the top right-hand corner was your account number, the invoice number, the invoice period, all those things were there, but now they've taken that feature away. You can still find your account number, but you have to go through the Telstra app on your phone to find that. You can, if you go hunting through their website, also find it there. But the Telstra app, their Telstra 24/7 app they've got these days, is the way they want you to find it.
So in other words, like banks closing down branches and only putting ATMs out the front, I don't know about Optus, but Telstra's wanting to force you to go to the app or download the app on your phone. Okay, righto. So, well, looking at my bill, it says your detailed bill. You've got that on the screen, I believe. There's my mobile service, which is the number I remember. Remember when there was only 018 instead of 0418?
Yes.
Yeah, the good old days. Then there's the mobile data service. What's that?
So that would be if you've got an iPad or a Samsung tablet that you have a SIM card inside of there to provide it with mobile connection when you're out and about to do data things. Or if you have a little Wi-Fi device that provides internet access to a computer when you're out and about. These days, those things aren't really needed because your phone is a mobile data connection point and can be used with an iPad or with a Samsung tablet or even with a computer should you need to.
Backtrack. What about your watch? If you can make calls on your watch outdoors when you haven't got your mobile phone, do they have a number for that as well?
That is a separate thing. That's usually a shared number service as opposed to a mobile data service, because it has to have your phone number linked to that linked to that watch to make those phone calls.
So the watch doesn't have a SIM card in it. It merely is connected or shared with my mobile device.
Exactly right, yes.
Okay, all right. So the mobile data service, you're saying, is no longer necessary?
For most people, no. Unless they do not have a smartphone of any kind, they don't, because you've always got your phone with you. And so if you're going out somewhere with a tablet, with an iPad, you're going to have your phone with you as well. So you don't need to have the tablet with its own internet connection when the phone's there anyway.
So are you saying I'm paying $30 for that I shouldn't be paying it? And it's even got a mobile number next to it.
Exactly right. They're the sort of things I usually say to people, look at your bills. If you have that sort of service, if you don't realise you're doing it, go to a Telstra shop, ask them, is this for a tablet that I have? If they say yes it is, you want to cancel it straight away and then use your phone as that internet connection for your tablet.
Okay. And the fixed service, it's not a mobile number, it's like a hardline telephone number.
Years ago, you had to have the home phone number to get the internet connection. These days, it's the other way around. These days, you have to have the internet connection to have the phone number. So they give you, in your case on your bill, they show you your home phone number there, but it's not actually your home phone number account. It is your NBN or data internet connection for the house, but they're putting the number there so you recognise, this is a landline service.
So is that not just another way of saying this is what your NBN is?
Exactly right. That's what they should be doing. And in the terms of how they say below it would be saying what the actual plan is, it'd be in there something about internet or data, and that's literally the name plan there.
Yeah, so it's an NBN, there's an ID, and there's a very long number after that.
Exactly right. That's your NBN connection. They put the landline number there just to remind you, hey, this is your landline connection.
Okay, now, let's just stay with the NBN connection at the moment. You have said to me offline a number of times, Gareth, you should be on a faster NBN service. What are the differences? How will it help?
So these days, with all NBN connections, they're given, the providers like Telstra, Optus, Aussie Broadband, all are given a wholesale price. And in the case of all of them, they changed the wholesale price about 2 months ago now, back in September when we're recording this, and they increased the price of the slower speeds and decreased the speed of the highest, or decreased the price of the higher speeds, so that way people were sort of migrating up to the higher speeds to get them off the slower ones. So in the case of you, chances are you're paying a lot more than you should be, and you used to do, for the NBN speed you're getting, and you'd actually be paying only a few dollars more to increase your speed to a higher speed, a much higher speed than what you currently got.
So that higher speed, what does it give me? What does it do for me?
So it means that if you're downloading Microsoft updates for Windows, or you're doing streaming services on your TV, or even possibly, depending on how bad your connection is in your house, you're trying to use your mobile phone in your house using your Wi-Fi, a faster speed can mean more consistent connection, faster connection, so things can download faster, and there'll be no buffering, there'll be no connection drops, all those sort of things that can happen with the slower speeds. You won't face that. And in all honesty, if a few dollars extra a month, quite often it's worth the upgrade.
And at the moment, isn't there a 6-month window, or there has been a 6-month window from Black Friday for 6 months where you can get it cheaper and then it goes back to the normal price?
Exactly, yeah. The prices right now are all on sale. Everyone's trying to pull customers in. And so you'll notice with all providers, they've all got deals going right now, trying to bring their prices down as far as they possibly can. So they're just making the smallest of profit for a few months, and then they'll increase the prices back to where they're supposed to be, with what they're making the large profits from. So it's well worth checking right now on all providers, if you can, even your current provider, see if there's a better deal you can organise. The issue you face changing providers, and this is the big thing, is you need to have a few different numbers. I think we might do this another episode, where you need to have account numbers, you need to have ID numbers for your NBN connection. There's multiple things you need to change providers. So if your current provider is offering new customers a better price, get a hold of them. Say, I've been with you for 5, 10, 30 years,
Yeah.
give me a better price as well.
Let's throw the telephone bill away. enough with the telephone bill. So which is the best, what would you suggest for the general public is the best plan to go on with NBN to increase your speed, to not increase the price dramatically?
So in most cases, for most people, you're stuck looking at what your uses are. So if your use is a whole lot of data because you're doing lots and lots of streaming, then you want to try and focus on the higher speeds. And like I said, the problem is they increase the lower speed prices considerably and then reduce the higher speed prices as well. So you've got to try and find that nice balance. In your situation, looking at it, you're going to spend roughly $4 extra a month to increase the speed dramatically. And that can benefit people in the long run. The issue comes down to, is it worth staying with the current provider? And this is where the questions really need to be asked in terms of saving money. So, for example, my NBN bill is $95 a month. That's all I pay a month. I pay the mobile phones yearly, but I pay that per month. However, the saving you'd get for that, if you were to change to my provider, if you have, say for example with Telstra, you have a Telstra email address, a Big Pond email address, for the first 12 months you get that for free once you leave Telstra. However, after that you've got to pay for it. And it's, if you don't move to a different provider for your email, you're then paying for this email address about $70 a year. It eats away that saving.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, as you know, I'm a Neanderthal man. What I know is what I use. I've been with Telstra since I was a baby. Was there Telstra then? No, there probably wasn't. It was Flying Pigeons. Anyway, I've been with them for a long time, so I'll just see if I can get a better deal with the current provider.
It's probably the best option because it saves changing devices, playing with Wi-Fi, changing email addresses. If you can get the best possible deal you can from your current provider, it's well worth it. Only thing I want to say quickly is if you're going to change providers, people make the mistake of changing providers just researching on price. Always, whenever you're changing any provider for any service, ring the help service, ring their technical support, ring the faults department, and pretend you're a customer initially, and then say, oh, hang on, I'm just actually seeing what your customer service is like. Use that to help you change providers as well.
Well, depending who you ring, you're going to be talking to someone overseas anyway.
And that's where, if you do that, you find that out very quickly.
And so are you saying try and choose a provider that is based in the country in which you're asking?
Possibly. It's a case of either in the country you're calling from, or where the call centre has staff that are well trained in their technical knowledge, but also their strength in the language that you're using is also there. You don't want to have somebody in a call centre that unfortunately doesn't speak English all that well. You're trying to communicate with them using what you believe to be the correct information, and they're not understanding what you're trying to tell them. So it's a case of you got to line that up nicely.
Okay, look, we've got council rates, we've got registrations, we've got licenses, we've got phone companies, we've got mortgages, we've got monthly car payments, petrol, whatever. There's so many things we have to pay. And with AI, with computers, is it becoming easier or more confusing, like direct debit, banking apps, BPay, online portals, blah, blah, blah?
It's becoming easier for the businesses and more confusing for the users because there are so many different ways to pay things these days. So the old-fashioned going into the shop and paying your bill with a check is almost completely gone these days.
What's a check?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's how old I am too.
Yeah.
But you then face the issue of you can still go to the post office and pay most bills there. Not all. You've got to make sure the bill that you want to try and pay at the post office has the post-pay section, the little barcode there. Otherwise you can't pay at the post office. You've got to then pay it only via a computer, either through a credit card or maybe via phone or direct debit. So direct debit would be where you're putting in the details for the bank account for the company you're dealing with into your bank's website, and if you have that slightly incorrect, it could either bounce back to you so you don't lose the money, or it goes into a third unrelated company's bank account and you'll never see it again. So that's the least secure way of doing things.
Direct debit is a no-no then, is that what you're saying?
I do not recommend direct debit for anything that's not where you can validate multiple times the bank account details.
Okay.
I've seen where people have actually had the invoices being sent out from their businesses be compromised and have scammers actually put different bank account details onto that invoice for people to pay the incorrect bank account details. So if you are going to direct debit something, ring the company and say, hey, just clarifying, can you validate these the details for your bank account? I've done it with my Sparky in the past, and he was fine to do that. It's always good just to verify those.
So what about BPay?
So
How
BPay is the better way of doing things, because you've got to put in the correct biller code, which is the code for that company, and the reference number, which is your own number, usually your account number or related to your account number, and that goes into their account straight away, and it's linked to you with their reference details.
Oh, just then on that, I notice on my banking app, I've got an ID, Pay ID, where you put in the person's mobile telephone number and it brings up their bank account. How do they get the banking details?
So that's been done by the person who's given you their Pay ID details. That's been done by their bank. So that way, in theory, it's been done on their side, linking their BSB, their account number to their phone number. It should be fine and good to go. But that's for individuals rather than businesses. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather do things either by making phone calls and talking to somebody through direct debit if I need to do it, or I'll use BPay.
Okay. But if the person isn't a business and it's like the gardener who comes, who doesn't have all of that highfalutin computer stuff, but they say, I just used Pay ID, it's safe?
Yep, it's about as safe as direct debit, as long as they give you their phone number exactly correct. If you put one number, again, incorrect in there, it might not go to their account, it might go to somebody else's account who has Pay ID set up as well.
Still paying bills. There is the digital wallet. Now, on my phone, I've got a whole pile of things, cards, digitally like even my license on my phone. Now, once upon a time, I was told, people can steal your details from your mobile phone by scanning it as you walk past or whatever. So if you've got all these details on your wallet, they're going to get access to that as well. So how safe?
It's safer than the actual card itself. So with the card, you can literally have somebody walk past you, brush against you, and your card can be debited $90 straight away.
Yep.
The card, however, the phone, however, needs to have your PIN or your face or your fingerprint put onto it to activate that card. So in theory, it's more secure than the card itself. But I'm one of those old-fashioned people that I like to actually have the card or the money, so that way I can feel like I'm not going to hold somebody up. Because if you're paying with your phone, you get your phone out, got to open it with your face or that other stuff, you then got to tap it and hope it works, and it doesn't work, you got to try again. Whereas the card, you just tap it, you're done. Or with the money, just give them the money and you're done straight away that way as well.
God, you are old-fashioned. Money? You mean Her Majesty or His Majesty's real face money? That's what you call money?
I mean the actual real...
Oh, look at that. You are rich. I couldn't take that out of my wallet. All I've got in there is moths. Okay, all right, that's a digital wallet, which again you're saying. What about having reminders built into your phone or onto your computer, calendar reminders set so that you know when a bill's coming up, you know what it's going to be?
This is where it comes down to how you budget things. So my situation right now, I budget for my electricity bill. It comes out the same amount every month, making sure that I'm always slightly in credit when the bill finally comes in. And I got this set up through those direct debits on my bank service. So every month...
So you do use direct debit?
I do, but it's a system that I've already put in and I've verified it beforehand.
Okay.
For things that come in quickly, I just use a credit card for those or BPay. But for things that are going to be a regular payment, like my electricity bill to keep the bill shock down, every month it comes out. That way when the bill finally comes in, I say, oh, look, we're in credit for $70. And I come out on front with that. So it's very hard for most things sort of pre-plan. Things like rates you can do it with. Phones you should be able to do it with as long as your usage of the phone doesn't change. But you have those strange bills. So you have more gas being used one month than the previous month, and you get a big gas bill.
Mine, yeah.
You really can't plan for that and put reminders in. So it's just the regular ones you can put reminders in. And for my situation, I'd rather have the money come out automatically. And that way, if I do get a bigger bill, I just put the extra few dollars in and we call it even at that.
What about hardship situations where people may find themselves with an electricity bill, gas bill, or whatever, that where the bill is substantial? Uh, how advisable is it to access hardship financial assistance?
If anybody's ever in problems like that, contact your provider straight away. Don't wait until it's too late, because if you do it as soon as you realise you're in trouble, your provider can then implement straight away, even before the bill comes out, they can implement straight away a payment system to give you the chance to have some slack to
Yep.
either pay other bills. Even in theory, your landlord can do it as well. Everyone should be able to provide you with a bit of a hardship help, and if needed also some governments can also step in and provide you with extra resources too. So you never wait to the last second. When you realise you're in strife, get a hold of people straight away.
Okay, here's not a curly one, but an interesting one. The ad on television that frustrates me so much is that little animal. Compare the market, compare the market, compare the market. I feel like throttling the television or putting my fists through the screen. But there are a whole range of web pages that one can go to talk about assistance, reviews, whatever. Like, for example, petrol. I drive past a certain petrol station every day, and at the moment it's $1.77 per litre. That's the cheapest one, $1.77. I drive 500 metres further up, there's another petrol station, it's $1.63 per litre. Now, firstly, the complication of why petrol stations next door to each other, or even petrol stations with the same brand, can be so different in their cost is ridiculous. But I believe there is a web page that you can go to, and anywhere in Australia, it's all colour coded. You can look at prices from 170 something down to 150 something. Is there such a thing?
There's a whole lot of them. The one that I've used for many, many years is called Motormouth. So you can, when you go onto it, it asks you to share your location. I don't like sharing locations with websites, so I decline that sharing location. But you can put in what petrol you want to use, so whether it's the E10 or the diesel or the LPG or the expensive stuff like my car has to use, and you can then...
Oh,
I know.
that's what your $20 is for, yeah.
Sorry. For a litre of petrol, yeah. You then, once you've put in what petrol you want to use, you then zoom into your location. Or if you're going to go on holidays, you zoom into the location you're going to. And the cheap petrol ends up being dark green, and every service station every day must report to all governments, must report their petrol prices. And so this website, motormouth.com.au, actually keeps track of what they report to the government, and so they can actually then put it on the website. So the cheapest ones are dark green, the expensive ones are red. So you bypass the red ones and you go just to the dark green ones. There are other websites as well.
Having looked at that website, it didn't ask me to put in my postcode where I am, because I wouldn't either, but it gave me a map of Australia, and I had to then click on the area I wanted to go to, and I went straight to for example, in Victoria, I went to Melbourne, and then I increased the size of the map and outlying areas around Melbourne, the various suburbs around Melbourne, or around Sydney, or around Brisbane, wherever you happen to be. So there was no need for me to actually give them my information, but it simply was a case of looking at the map of Australia.
It's such a useful website, and there's also an app on the phone too that works the same method, but it uses your location because it's got the phone. But they're to show you comparing those dots aren't comparing the rest of the country petrol prices, they're comparing those areas. So, for example, I looked today at Sydney, I looked at Wollongong, Central Coast, Newcastle, and the prices that were dark green in Sydney, those prices didn't exist on Central Coast or Newcastle or Wollongong, so their dark greens were more expensive. So it bases the colours off the areas.
So the colours also can vary in cost.
Yeah, it comes down purely to the location you're in.
Okay.
The worst of the bunch, though, has to be the ACT. So what you see in different states is actual price at the Bowser currently. The ACT government said, don't give us the actual price, give us a range of your price. So it can be less than this certain price, between these two prices, above this price. And that's
that's what the map had when I opened up motormouth.com.au. That's what the app had. It had on the left-hand side of the screen, there are a series of between, and then there was the map. and all the betweens had different colours next to them. And then when you clicked on, for example, the cheapest, obviously, when you clicked on the cheap one, it said which particular petrol station has it that price.
Yep, but in the ACT, they have that range of prices on the actual service stations rather than...
right.
Which
right.
the ACT, why they did it, I don't know. But it does mean if you go to the petrol station in the ACT, it could be the lower range of what they say it is or the higher range.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, petrol is obvious one. Motormouth.com.au, use it because it really will save you money. What about power, gas and electricity? Is there one that focuses particularly on power that would start with energy something or other?
The best one to use for when you're looking at electricity and gas has to be the federal government run Energymadeeasy.gov.au. It's the one that I use every year without fail around about April, May when my contract comes up. And it shows you put in there your postcode or suburb, whether you want to do electricity or gas, and then you choose all the different things, say residential or business, blah, 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 blah. On your bill, you have what they call an NMI number. On every electricity bill, it's always there. That is your national meter identification number.
Yep.
And that is separate for everybody. So it asks you for that. And then because this is a federal government thing, they have access to know exactly where you are and what your previous bills have been. And they then compare your bills and what your fees were compared to every other provider in the marketplace.
And give you the cheapest.
It gives you a range of prices, from the cheapest to the most expensive, all the way down the list. The other one that can do the same thing is finder.com.au.
That's where you find a better deal on anything, isn't it?
It has more stuff than comparethemarket.com.au, but the same basic principle. It's commercial. It has dealings with a whole range of businesses, and it'll push the ones it has dealings with, but it can do a lot more. Actually, I used it this morning just to double check. If you do a search for mobile phone plans, which is a huge one, it doesn't ask you for your details for phone number or email address. It just shows you the list of all the providers and the prices they have for their things. So you can actually find really good savings there. I pay right now for my mobile phone services. I pay for the full year. That way I pay it once, I'm done. I can ignore it for the rest of the year. I can now find quickly on finder.com.au if I'm paying the best possible price for those services before I even go and renew it again.
So you're putting all these, these web pages on the list below, aren't you? So
they'll be in the show notes, but also I'll show them on screen. That way people have an idea of what the websites look like and also where to find them.
Okay, and if you're new to our website, Nerd and Normal, please like, click, share, explain, tell your friends, whatever. And we might even find Nerd and Normal on finder.com.au.
Maybe
and it's free. It's free. Okay. What about... because I use it reasonably frequently, where I've gone to a shop or gone to a company and they've been really good. So I write a review, a Google review. Is there a website that will allow me to search that in generic terms of all these people's different reviews?
So it's not just for products, but also for businesses. So productreview.com.au. You've found a cheap service somewhere, whether it be electricity, phone, maybe you've found a provider for petrol and you want to find out if that service station is any good or not. Chances are you'll find a review for that on productreview.com.au. So you find the provider, you think their price is fine, go to productreview.com.au, check to see if there's any bad reviews, any good reviews. You're not looking for the best of the best. You're looking for reviews that are consistent. You don't want to have all 5-star reviews because then it's like, well, what's going on here? You don't want to find all 1-star reviews because there's going to be something going on there. You want to find a sort of good mix, but also go through, are the reviews saying the same thing? Are they saying the customer service was bad? Are they saying the call center doesn't know what they're talking about? Are they saying they were ripped off with their insurance because of something in the terms and conditions they didn't realise was there? It's a very useful website for services. But again, you go to the shop, you think, is this TV any good? Productreviews.com.au has user reviews as opposed to professional reviews.
Okay, what about if I want to find a bargain?
This one I've recommended for many, many years, and I go hunting on here every day without fail to see if I can find something. ozbargain.com.au. It does show ads, so I've got an ad blocker on my computer, so I don't see the ads, but they have a whole range of things that you can buy or get for cheap or very, very affordably, whether it be services, but mostly it's products. And people think, oh, it's going to be all computer related. It's not. There's a lot of computer things on there, but you can buy things cheaply like gloves. You can buy things cheaply like food and fruit. Petrol's been listed on there. So it's the sort of website you want to go to at least once a day to find out if there's anything cheap that you need that could save you a bit of money.
But then if you're get sucked in, you like window shopping, you're likely to see things you really don't need, but, I get that cheap, I'll buy it. People who think they buy something cheap, it's a bargain. But, hey, what are you going to use it for?
Doesn't matter, they save the money. That's all that matters. You've saved the money.
I've saved them. I've lost the money, but I've saved the money. I didn't pay the full price. Wow. So they are energymadeeasy.gov.au. There's finder.com.au. There's productreview.com.au. There's ozbargain.com.au. And there's motormouth.com.au. And the Motormouth one is certainly something I'm going to use every day.
Without a doubt. And it's well worth getting the app on your phone as well. To check out Motormouth on the App Store, on Apple, or Google Play Store.
Okay. Wow. Have we saved anyone money? You still have your $20, or is someone coming and you've still got your $20?
No, it's halved.
How about that? Well, I have my wallet, so I can pay by my phone. Well, I hope we've helped people search out how to save themselves, get themselves a better deal. Now, I suppose my question, selfishly, do I go into a Telstra store to make changes, or can I do it on the phone?
Always best to go into the store. They'll push new services onto you, new products onto you, but they will at least understand what you're talking about, because you can take your bill in. You can say, here's my bill. You can highlight, what's this service? Do I need this?
Okay.
It's a case of, remember years ago, when people bought phones from Telstra stores, they had a device plan, or I forget what it's called now, some device charge put onto their bill, $3 a month they're paying for it. Always the same thing. Take this back into the store and get them to take that off the bill. And they did all the time. You just got to ask. It's always best to go and see someone. That way you get quality service from a face-to-face person.
I am reminded very clearly about Mary Poppins and the little boy who's taken into the bank, and a penny. If you put a penny in the bank, in 50 years, 100 years, you'll be worth a fortune. So let's hope we've saved someone a penny today.
At least one would be nice, but anything's good.
Has that $10 now become $5?
Nope, it's a moth now. There's nothing in there.
It's a All right, thank you very much, Matthew. As always clear. And our topic next week, most importantly, I think anyway, is we're going to be looking at terrorism, security, police using computers to hunt down crime, and military using computers for all sorts of reasons. So it's a pretty important topic for us next week.
It is. We're looking at keeping the world safe using technology to do it with.
But make sure you save that penny. Bye, Matthew.
See you, Gareth.
Of course, naturally. You've got to blame somebody.
Of course.
When your tools are useless.
Well, that's what the artists do. They blame the tools.
What?
Yeah. That's all, folks. Shush you. For God's sake. All right. Today on Nerd and Normal. Everyone, not everyone, everything. Shut up. Oh, God.
Oh, here we go. I'll shut up.
I need a booth to put you in sometimes. Today.
I'm in a booth. This is a bloody booth. It's small enough to be a shoebox.
Today on Nerd and Normal. Everything is getting more expensive. Your computer and phone can help. Can actually help. Shut up. Oh, God. I'm going to cover you like that. I can't see you. This is why I hated doing pre-records of anything with the bloody other people in studio with me. Go away. $1.50 price to paper.
$4.50 for me.
It's gone up these days. That's how old I am. There we go. Now I can get rid of that. Oh, that's painful.
You can say that again.
Oh, that's painful.
Compare the market, compare the market, compare the market.